Hi, welcome to the Executive Director's Desk at Back Bay Mission. We are not at the desk, we are on location at Our Mother of Sorrows Catholic Church here in Biloxi, just down the street from Back Bay Mission. And I'm here with Miss Bunny, who is, wow, like an incredible historian and holds a lot of the history of this amazing church and of this community. We were just realizing, we were talking to Dee, who is our new Director of Client Services. She's our Director of Development, and finding out we have connections, right? That Miss Bunny knows some of the family and especially her in-laws. So thank you for taking this time to share. I just want to ask you, first of all, you have a shirt on that says Catholic, which I think is really cool. So tell us a little bit about your journey with the Catholic Church and what you do here at Mother of Sorrows.
Well, born and raised here in the Catholic faith, received all our sacraments here. Just grew up here, and I'm just so connected with the Catholic faith. I work for the school, for the church. I work for the church here. And I'm Director of Religious Ed and Social Outreach, so I have all that full connection there.
Okay, what is the social outreach? What is
That's
that?
working out in the community. That's whatever needs to be done out in the community with St. Vincent de Paul, that we work St. Vincent de Paul, and just out in the community, just a lot of outreach. Just whenever someone needs something, we just kind of do an outreach, call Back Bay Mission, call Salvation Army, whoever we need to call. So that's my outreach there.
That's great. I didn't realize you were the chair of that?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, then we do a lot of the same work out in the community.
Yes,
for sure.
We have the connection because I've called on Back Bay Mission many, many times.
Yeah.
And still today.
Yeah.
So just kind of outreach, not only the homeless, but just people that's in need.
Right.
There's such a big need now.
Yeah. Yeah, the need's getting bigger.
Yes, it is.
And we're seeing an increase, especially of people accessing our food pantry and other services, home repair and whatnot. So,
exactly. So that's all part of the outreach of the community.
Oh, that's great. Well, tell us a little bit about the history of this church, because I think this church has a pretty brilliant history, this parish.
Well, the church was established in 1914 by the Josephites out of Baltimore, Maryland. Father Kelly was the first pastor here at the Sorrows. And it was built by some of our parishioners here. The Squeedos, Bertrands, the Seldons helped build this church here. So we lived on Fayard Street, so we're right in the area, Fayard and Glada, right in this area here.
Is that where you still live?
No, unfortunately Katrina came and took all the houses away, so I don't think there anymore. But that was our foundation here. And pretty much everyone in this area went to this church here. So
It was kind of a neighborhood church?
It was kind of a neighborhood church. Whether you were Baptist, it didn't matter, you all came here. So that's from the point to the bay. This was a church that everyone came to. We're the second oldest church here in this diocese here. And we're the oldest, first African-American parish here in this diocese of Biloxi here. So just being grown up here, grandparents, this was every Saturday, Sunday, place that we came to worship. So we just got that connection here. So my grandmother was a housekeeper for the priest. And of course we all went to Catholic school there at Our Mother of Sorrows. So it was just rooted in us to, we didn't have any other choice but to come here, but we've always loved and looked forward to coming here, to Mass here. So that was my beginning, of here, and still today, work for the church and just being a part of the faith, the Catholic faith.
And the first bishop, right? Black bishop came from this church, am I right?
No, he did not. Actually, he was a convert.
Convert?
He was from Mobile, Alabama.
Oh.
Bishop Joseph Lawson Howes. Yeah. He's the first bishop in 1977, so he was the first African-American bishop of the Diocese of Biloxi.
And he was a convert?
He was a convert, He wanted to become a bishop. But he celebrated Mass here every Christmas morning. Every Christmas morning he would celebrate Mass here with us.
Well, that's beautiful. And how long did he serve as bishop?
I'm not sure. He passed his... I'm not sure.
Okay.
It was a while.
Those firsts are always important, aren't they?
Yes.
So what really resonates with you about kind of the Catholic faith? And what resonates with you kind of about that tradition that you hold so dear?
Well, we're not here by mistake. God created us all. And we're here for a reason. Everything we do, everything we owe is for God, I've been blessed with so many blessings, and I can just remember even back in the day with my grandparents, it was a struggle. It was a struggle. for our school, getting us to school here, feeding us. That was a struggle. But we always knew that God would always provide, and God is always here. This is kind of like a safe haven. We'd always come. The grandparents, we were here almost 7 days a week, so we look forward to coming here at this church. So God has just blessed us. Our church is still standing. 1914 we're still standing, and we fostered from this parish. We fostered 2 religious. An Archbishop Eugene Marino. He was the first African American Archbishop of Atlanta. Went to school here, altar boy. Walked the grounds here. And his sister, Sister Eileen Marino, she was an oblate, sister of an oblate. When she was coming to school here, the school was founded by the Sisters of the Blessed Sacrament out of Philadelphia. And they didn't allow African Americans in that order. So Sister Eileen had to join the Oblate Sisters.
Yeah.
So that's why she's Sister or Oblate. But she went to school here too. All of our sacraments right here at this parish here.
Oh, wow. So what's the history of the name, Our Mother of Sorrows? Do you know? Was that connected to...
Well, it's actually Our Lady of Sorrows.
Our Lady of Sorrows.
And that's why Our Lady of Sorrows. Those are the 7 sorrowful tears of Our Lady of Sorrows. So some says Our Mother of Sorrows, some say Our Lady of Sorrows. We don't know when they actually started saying Our Mother of Sorrows, but it's actually, a lot of people will say Our Lady of Sorrows. Those are her tears. It's the 7 sorrowful tears.
So 7 sorrowful tears connected to
Jesus.
Jesus.
Her son as he suffered and died on the cross for us. And that's Mary at the next to Jesus there.
Well, when I was first in here, I noticed those were tears.
Yes.
But I didn't know the connection.
Those are her 7. And of course, it was many, many tears other than 7, but it's the 7 sorrowful tears. And there's a prayer that goes
Is that kind of for the
tears.
7 last words of Christ?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
So tell me, Miss Bunny, a little bit about, because of this community of faith obviously being established very early, and as the first Black Catholic parish here, right? What happened during Katrina? You were sharing a little bit about Katrina, because you've got these gorgeous stations of the cross, and these were the stations that were
These
here.
are the original stations.
Original stations.
Original stations. So Katrina came, and Bishop Rhodey was looking for, before Katrina, Bishop Rhodey was looking for an order to take over Our Mother of Sorrows. We were always a Josephite parish. Well, the Josephites are all up in age, and they're just not having anyone joining, that vocation. So the Josephites could not staff us anymore. So we went back to the Diocese of Biloxi. So Bishop Rhodey was the bishop at that time. So he's like, well, we got to find someone to take over Our Mother of Sorrows. And so he just did his homework, and he contacted the Redemptorist community. And so they sent a priest and a brother down to just check out the area to see if there's something that they wanted to staff. And so they said yes, they would come down here and staff this parish. So they told Bishop Rhodey that they would take care of Our Mother of Sorrows staffing. So 2 weeks after they signed the contract. 2 weeks after the contract was signed, Hurricane Katrina hit. So Bishop Rhodey called and says, don't worry about it, it's in shambles. We're probably going to have to close the parish. And they said, no, we agreed that we were going to come, and that's what we're going to do. So we were blessed with 3 priests and a brother, all Redemptorists. So they came down, and just got us back where we need to be. We were the first church to open after Katrina. We never stopped having mass. We would sit on the telephone pole there, wherever we had to sit.
Yeah, you'd shared that last time. You actually would stay by the telephone pole.
Oh yeah, we never stopped. We never, he had his card table.
Yeah.
And so all the volunteers started coming in, and they helped rebuild the church here. So we are where we are today because of the Redemptorist priest and that order to come in to save us here. And they're actually supposed to stay like 3 years. Well, we had them for 15 years. And Father Steve Wilson, God rest his soul, he was called home last year. He was known as King of East Biloxi. So Mayor Holloway, all the mayors would call him King of East Biloxi because he had all the connection with all the out of town volunteers to come in. And we have a plaque on the wall there that shows you all those volunteers who came in.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I'm assuming volunteers from all over the country.
All over the country. All over
to
the
help
country.
rebuild the church.
Yes, and we had bonded with them. And it was funny because we had one parish from Murraysville, Pennsylvania, and their church is called Our Mother of Sorrows. So they're like, okay, we're going to Our Mother of Sorrows. So they came down, and we became friends with the Scaletti family from Murraysville, Pennsylvania.
So did everything have to be replaced in here? The pews?
Everything, yes.
Everything.
Yes.
So they rebuilt it almost as it was, correct?
Right. Just
Were they able to recoup windows or?
No, the windows stayed.
Really?
The windows stayed, yeah. The stations had fallen down, but Father Tay got a group of Vietnamese together and they redid our stations for us. So pretty much everything stayed. It was just, we had to build a new altar, all of that had to be done all over again. But Jesus still stood there. He never came down. He was right
Oh, really?
there. Right there. Stood right there, yeah.
But the water was up to the cross.
Yeah, the water was up there, yeah, pretty much up there, so.
Huh.
So we lost our organ and all that because of the water. We couldn't get him, and then all the mold started setting in, so it was in pretty bad shape. So the tile that's down here, the volunteers from Holland, Michigan, and the other volunteers, each tile has a message underneath.
Really?
Yes, they all wrote a message on the tile in there for us, so that's our connection here.
Well, that's an energy, right, that they put into the room, they put into the space.
They did.
Since this is a sacred space, to put a message under each tile.
So the guys was up here one afternoon and it was on the scaffold and he couldn't figure out exactly how to do something and they were just having such a hard time and all of a sudden this guy walked in and he got up and he did the work and then he left. Nobody knew who he was or who he is or anything still today. And they would call and say, who was that guy that came in? And he showed them how to do it and then he left. So we said that was a miracle, that God sent this guy here to help them to figure out what needed to be done. So we've had a lot of miracles that's happened here in this church. I mean, you wouldn't believe, so.
Oh, that's beautiful. Do you want to describe any of those miracles or share any of those?
Well, that's one. Pat Money, she's deceased. She and I was in church. And we came, we was helping clean up and everything. And also we heard something hit. Boom! We thought, what in the world? What was that? And we looked at the altar and Jesus' head had fallen down. And he was looking straight to the door. And I thought, oh my God, our first reaction was like, we got to get out of here. So we just looked at him.
His head came off?
His head came off. And we thought, what in the world? But Pat and I was the only two that saw this. And so, went and told Father, and, so everything will get things taken care of. Well, when they came back, the head wasn't there. The head was put back on. Now, Pat Money, she's deceased, but she and I witnessed that.
Huh.
I mean, the head, just this head was there, and it was facing the door.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, facing the door, so. But we get a lot of people walk in and don't know who they are, where they're from, and just things happen. Things happen. Just touch your lives in all kind of ways. Things happen.
Well, I like to call those God winks, right?
Yes.
Opportunities when God kind of shows up, the divine shows up, the holy shows up in our spaces and in our lives.
He does. So that's why.
And we hold those moments.
And we do. So that's why we're blessed with so many blessings we have. And it's all from God there. Our faith, our belief, our prayers.
Yeah.
It comes from Him there. That's where it comes from. If you really believe. And we have the Blessed Sacrament. We do adoration, which we expose the Blessed Sacrament. And that's our time with Him. That's our special time with Him. So that's really important to me because I can come in here, I sit down, and we have that conversation. Sometimes I'm in here by myself. I scream at him, I cry, I laugh, or just whatever. Yeah. But that's my time with God. You got to lay it at His feet. You lay everything at the foot of the cross. So that's why I love working here. I can come over here anytime. We have people come I want to know, can I look in the church? Can I go pray? Sure, I'll let them in. That's your time. That's your time, And we don't fear anything. There's no fear here. There's no fear.
I think that's a beautiful thing.
God will take care of everything. There's a reason we want to come in here. So we don't fear anything. There's no fear here, And I tell people it's not my church, it's our church. So anybody can come in, it doesn't matter. Just come on in. If that's what you feel called to do, just come on in.
Well, I think there's something, in many sacred spaces, there's something palpable, right? So when I walk in here, it's a sacred space. The energy that it's set aside for a holy purpose. And for some people to be able to walk in and sit, I remember when I was in Phoenix, kind of the same thing. People would come by and they'd knock on our door and we'd say, sure, you can sit. And then we just started leaving it open, which is risky. But like you said, there's no fear. That I think most people respect those sacred spaces.
Well, sometimes, it just depends. Everybody's different. So sometimes I'll just sit in the back with them or whatever, just give them a few minutes. We had one young fellow walked in and we were having a service. And of course he was, on drugs and he walked in and was trying to sell some chains that he had. And so one of our deacons was here and he said, well, just sit. And he sat. And then when he went to all the parishioners were trying to sell this and just sit down. And he sat. So we got ready to stand up, we got ready for communion. And he kept staring at Jesus on that cross. He didn't move, he just sat there. So I thought, the Holy Spirit just descended upon this kid here. And so Deacon says, I'll talk to you after church, but you have to stay here. And he actually sat right there in the pew.
Huh.
And I see him today walking the streets here. And whenever I see him, he makes the sign of the cross.
Really?
So, to me, those are just, like I said, God works there. To see that happen. So, but who are we to judge? That could be us out there. That's what I look at. Who are we to judge?
Yeah.
You just, and I always say I'm in God's house, nothing's going to happen to me. And if it does, I'm in the right place.
Yeah.
I'm in the right place.
Right.
So, you just, and that's when COVID came, and we can't live by fear. We don't live by faith, not by fear. We just can't. We just can't. God gave us sense too to know,
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing that I found out since I've been at Back Bay Mission is we have a board of directors at Back Bay. And half of our board of directors are folks from the United Church of Christ, and the other half are coastal Catholics that are connected to different Catholic churches, from Ocean Springs to Biloxi to Gulfport. And I think part of the reason that we have a board made up of half Catholic and half UCC is because the Catholic Church also has this kind of heartbeat for justice and for equity. And you said, Miss Bunny, you said, who are we to judge, right? So in the Catholic Church, I think in the United Church of Christ, we don't judge people, just accept people where they're at, wherever they're at on their journey, right? And that's part of it, like the embrace of somebody walking in who is a substance abuse, who was on drugs, who was drunk or whatever. They walk into the church, you just accept them for who and what they are. You don't say go and leave, you say sit and be present, right?
Because that could be me. I have children, that could be one of my children.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I would want someone to accept and love them and respect them.
Yeah.
So I always put myself in their shoes. We never know. If we can touch one person, then
That's right.
Just touch that one person. And I've touched many people that I had no idea that I've touched.
Right. And then those people go on to touch others, right? Hopefully to share that.
Exactly.
That human and divine experience together.
That's what God did with his disciples. We're disciples of Christ. We have to go out. We have to, walk the walk and talk the talk. We do a Holy Thursday where we have the washing of the feet. Oh, yeah. And we had this one priest. He says, look, I want people from off the street to come. If you see them, just grab them. And he actually kissed the feet of every person in here.
Wow.
He kissed the feet of every person in here.
That's powerful.
But you wash them, he did. He had no feet. He says, these are God's people. These are God's people. And I will always remember that. He did.
Yeah.
So I would say God's going to take care of me, I worked also St. Vincent de Paul, and I get many hugs. Oh, can I hug you, Miss Bunny? I'm like, okay, yes, you can hug me. And I just said, Lord, okay, well, I'm in your hands, this is it. And I'm still here today. So.
Yeah. Which St. Vincent de Paul did you work at?
I'm still at our Mother Sorrows. We have St. Vincent de Paul. That's why I said we have the connection with Back Bay Mission. And I call you guys all the time. We've got that connection. We have St. Vincent de Paul there.
Because we do some work also with
Actually, I'm sorry, not St. Vincent. We're St. Martin de Porres.
Right.
So we're under the umbrella of St. Martin de Porres.
So we do some work also with the St. Vincent de Paul in Ocean Springs.
Okay. Well, we have to talk about Biloxi.
They give us mattresses for our homeless and unsheltered folks that we moved into apartments. So. Well, any final words you want to share?
Well, I just want to say that I was going to share a little bit about St. Catherine Drexel.
Yeah.
St. Catherine Drexel, she founded the school in 1917, our Mother Sorrows School. And from the school, we've had kids bused from all over, Moss Point, Gulfport, Pascagoula, just to come to school, Bay St. Louis, just to come here to get that Catholic foundation.
Yeah.
St. Catherine Drexel was Sisters of the Blessed Sacrament, and she was canonized in the year 2000, but I say that because she actually walked the grounds that we're sitting on right now. She was Mother Catherine Drexel back in the day. She passed away in 1955, so which means I was born in 57, so my grandparents even knew her when she was Mother Catherine Drexel. Now she's St. Catherine Drexel. She also founded Xavier University there, and we were taught by the Sisters of the Blessed Sacrament, so she's real dear to us, from our heart. And I've started an associate sister of the Blessed Sacrament in 2009. We had 26 parishioners, and of course some of them passed away, but we still have that connection with the Sisters of the Blessed Sacrament. We started her 9-day novena Friday on the 23rd, because our feast day is March 3rd, so we're coming up on her feast day, March 3rd. So, and I just say that too because we had the last, and she founded Xavier University in New Orleans. That was one of her Catholic.
It's a great university.
College, Xavier University. And I say that because with heartfelt, we lost Sister Ann passed away, and she was the last Sisters of the Blessed Sacrament staff there at Xavier University. So now we have more sisters there. Yeah. So she just passed away yesterday. So it's just kind of heartfelt, with that.
Right.
She was the last sister of the Blessed Sacrament there. So yeah, it's kind of a. But again, the Spirit is alive here. The Holy Spirit is here. We just make a joyful noise here. We would also told all the time that we're the friendliest church that's here, and people like to come for the music. They say we're a gospel choir, but we're just a choir to sing. Congregation always participating, love to sing. I think there was pretty much all family that sings in the choir, so But we just love to just make a joyful noise. The Spirit's alive. It's just we just love coming to church. Just love coming to church. We're a better way. We're a better place to be.
Yeah.
A better place to pray. And my kids used to tell me, "Well, why we could pray at home and we could pray." I said, "You can." But look, God's here. And I told them, don't we like company? We love to for holidays and everything. Get dressed and. God wants to invite you here. Yeah. So we tell people we're having a party Sunday at 10:30. We're at church, 800 Division Street, 803. Come on, it's a party.
That's great.
This is our party here. So
that's great.
But God has just been so good to us. Our doors have never closed. And there was rumors that they were going to close the church after Katrina. But we had Oprah Winfrey on speed dial. You're not closing this church. There's no way. I mean, we do what we can. Even though we have to just continue having church outside, we were not going to let these doors be closed.
That's beautiful.
It's too much history here.
Too much history and goodness.
Too much. Like I said, my parents, my grandparents, my parents, me, my siblings, the next generation. This is our parish here.
This is their community.
This is it. This is it. So.
Well, I appreciate that, Ms. Bunny, and this goes out to on our website and Facebook, and so anybody who comes to Biloxi, especially our volunteers that come, we'll invite them to come down here 10:30 a.m. Sunday morning, and 800 Division Street, right?
800 is the school. The church is 803.
803.
Right across the street.
Come down to the church here and join Miss Bunny and her spiritual community.
Wonderful.
That's a beautiful thing.
Doors are always open.
Yeah.
Always open.
Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for holding the beauty of history and for sharing your journey with us. Really appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much for this opportunity to get the word out. So, thank you.
It's awesome. So thank you, folks, for joining us, and have a blessed day. Peace to you.